Hi everybody, Carmen here from Carmens Bronco shop. Okay, so we get rid of all the disclaimers last week. There's a lot of crazy stuff that I had to explain. Kind of boring, I saw that afterward, but I still felt like I had to do it. Anyway, today we're getting into cutting some metal. Going to show you some stuff that, some other work that somebody did on this old Bronco years ago, and it's kind of funny. But anyway, just watch it and scratch your head a little bit. And we're cutting the floor out, and we're taking the dash out and everything. And at the end of this video, I'll give you a little hint on exactly what we're going to do in the next video. Anyway, stay tuned. Here we are. So we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty, and this is really something. So all they really needed was a new doorpost and a fender. So they did buy a fender. It was fiberglass. They didn't bother doing anything to the inner fender, which you can see is pretty rough. But they've got a brace welded to the main cylinder up here, coming across. There's a piece of threaded rod attached to that brace coming across here, and then another piece of angle iron going all the way down, and that's how they somehow attached the fender on. And then of course they got their door hinges welded to that piece of angle. That's a lot of work instead of just buying a new doorpost and installing it. Anyway, that's pretty wild. Reminder to self, this is the speedometer, obviously, and I'm hoping all the gauges work, but I couldn't really tell, and I ran it before and I couldn't tell if the fuel gauge worked. I could tell that the oil pressure gauge worked, but I mean, it could be the sending unit shot, who knows. But regardless, here's the hole that it comes out of, and it needs to go back in before all your brake pedals and all this stuff, because you just won't have room to move around there. So the brake pedal and the gas pedal and everything are kind of the last thing that's got to go in, and then the fresh air vent has got to be installed again, even though I'm not going to have openings through the hood because I'm not going to use them. But down the road, if they're there, then somebody can cut holes in the hood and put some sort of an intake ram on it so that you could get fresh air. I've seen a couple trucks with them. Anyway, they don't look bad at all. But I mean, it's a big job getting the dash out and all the wiring that's hooked to it, all the switches. It's like there's all sorts of different ways to get each one out. Your light switch is one way, your wiper switch is another, heater switches are another. Some of them of course have cables. Anyway, it's pretty interesting. This is just so I've got a real good shot of this when the time comes, so I can put it all back together. So my plan was to cut this section out and actually cut the inner rocker panel out of there and leave the outer rocker panel, both sides, and I've started here. And then I've got my floor already built over here. I'm going to slide it into place, and then after the floor is in here and it's just kind of screwed together, just to kind of give everything else a little bit of strength and get everything in the right place, then I'm going to correct the floor here, new piece, and the floor over there with sections from Wild Horses. Obviously I've got to clean that edge up there, all these edges, this whole mess here. Once I get these pieces in place, then all this crap is going to come out of here. But right now I've got everything kind of braced and leveled out and everything like that. So I'm going to put the new section in there, and then the next piece will be probably the doorpost, and then we'll move our way up. And then at some point, once everything is strong, Then I'm going to take the top off, and I'm going to pull the body off the frame, take the frame out and get it sandblasted. The pop around a spot down here just to see, and it's solid as all get out, so that's nice. All right, so here we have the floor is all gone. Obviously the old one got tore out, and this one is just kind of sitting in place right now. Obviously the body mount bolts are in place here. We've got the rocker panels fastened by way of screws to get them roughly where they need to be. Same with on the other side. Next step is to get the cowling up in place here, or the motor box, whatever you want to call it, transmission box. Get that up into place and weld that, and then we're going to cut both of these sides out here and start working our way up. It's pretty cool. I got lucky here. Wild Horses sells this panel all welded together, so that gave me a bit of a break. I know it probably cost me $150 more than just buying the pieces, but by having this done, it was all square to start with, and I think that it's going to help me out a lot. Anyway, wish me luck. So there you have it. In that video, we exposed a bunch of work that somebody else has done on this Bronco through the years. We've got the new floor sitting where it needs to be, lined up with the rocker panels and everything like that. In the next episode, we're going to show you a bunch of work that we've done moving forward, cutting cut out the damaged floor and the door posts on both sides, and the installation of one door post on the driver's side. And then we're just basically moving along from that. These are a compilation of a bunch of small videos that I've done as I've been moving along, and you know that right now is live because I'm putting the video clips together. But back, those clips are probably a couple months ago, so if they're not as smooth as you'd like them, that's why. With a project like this, it's not like you say, okay, today we're going to install, the brakes in the back end. Well, this is a long thing, and the work that I'm doing takes days and days, and you don't know exactly where you're going to fit everything together. So if it seems a little awkward at times, I apologize, but it's telling the story, and there's some good tips on there. So anyway, I can't say a whole lot more about that, but you'll notice some spots where I focus in, like the tops of the door posts where they fasten to the area below the windshield. I zoom in on that a little bit and I stay focused on it for a few seconds, because for those of you that are installing door posts and you may have already cut all your stuff apart, you're going to need to look at that to give yourself some visual context in which to help install your new door posts. And I've got all sorts of tips in the upcoming episodes on how to install those posts, what to do. I don't actually give you tips so much while I'm doing them because it's too difficult, and like I said, there's a time issue. But when it's done, I'll show you exactly what I've done and how to keep things square and whatnot so that your doors fit. And let's face it, it's all about the doors fitting and your fenders and all that sort of thing. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and if you enjoy what you're seeing, please subscribe. Take care.